Good morning, everybody. Take a few minutes and say good morning. Give each other hugs. Maybe a high five. I'm giving Sandy a high five right now. Good morning. Derek Anderson, high five. Laura, divine five. Good morning, Jesus. Say good morning to each other. There's the Calico Kid riding in on his cowboy hat. Good morning, Pearly. Aaron, what are you doing here, Aaron? Whiskey, you've got a hug from me, big guy. Big hug, big guy. Somebody give Whiskey a hug. There's Billy D. Nipper Mama. I got that package. It's huge. Jonathan K. Have a good day. Charlie Ray Merritt. Charlie Ray Merritt came, you guys. Charlie Ray Merritt came. Jolie. Jolie, I have something for you. Talk to you later. Good morning, everybody. 41 people here already. That's fantastic. Keep on flying. Good morning. I'm going to play a video for you guys. Aaron, have a nice, it's like a busy day there. I'm going to play a video for you guys. It's one of those educational videos where the guy speaks with a British accent. You know that kind, right, Free? Where they're speaking with a British accent, so you know they automatically know more than you do. That British accent gets you every time. Okay. So, we're going to do a British accent video. And we're going to learn. I'm not going to get mad at you if you don't pay attention like I did the other day. I won't get mad at you if you stop paying attention. By the way, it's not 8 minutes long. It's only about a minute long. So I shouldn't really be challenging your ability to concentrate, you ADD kids out there. Okay, you ready? Where the heck did MDK come up with all of those emojis? Look at all those emojis, and he must have like an emoji program or something. I haven't seen any of those emojis. Very creative, MDK. Damn it, kids, pay attention! I was so out of line, wasn't I? Okay. Damn it, kids, pay attention. Here we go.
Are rooted to the ground and have a small negative charge. The higher up the plant you go, the greater. Plants are rooted to the ground and have a small negative charge. The higher up the plant you go, the greater the electric charge. This creates an electric field around the flower. We can't see it, but these electrodes are picking up the energy of this tiny field and converting it into the sound that we can hear. Bees, on the other hand, have a positive charge. Friction whilst flying causes them to lose electrons. As a bee approaches a flower, the charged fields around the flower and the bee interact, and the sound changes. There. And when it lands, the positive and negative fields immediately cancel each other out. As this happens, there are two very surprising consequences. Firstly, the plant's negatively charged pollen actually jumps across onto the positively charged bee. Secondly, the plant has a changed electrical field. And when another bee comes along, it detects this altered electrical signature and avoids the flower. The plant is in effect telling the bee that it has no nectar and to come back later. Plants are rooted to the ground and have a small
One more
negative
time.
charge.
Unbelievable
The higher up the plant you
what
go,
nature's doing.
the greater the electric charge.
The
This
plant,
creates an electric
the
field
plant says,
around
I
the
ain't got
flower.
nothing for you. Come back
These
later.
electrodes are picking up the energy of this tiny field and converting it into the sound that we can hear. Bees, on the other hand, have a positive charge. Friction whilst flying causes them to lose electrons. As a bee approaches a flower, the charged fields around the flower and the bee interact, and the sound changes. And when it lands, the positive and negative fields immediately cancel each other out. As this happens, there are two very surprising consequences. Firstly, the plant's negatively charged pollen actually jumps across onto the positively charged bee. Secondly, the plant has a changed electrical field, and when another bee comes along, it detects this altered electrical signature and avoids the flower. The plant is in effect telling the bee that it has no nectar and to come back later. Plants are rooted to the ground.
Wow. Give me 5 wows. Good morning. Give me 5 wows out of that. Give me 5 wows. Some of you have seen that video. It's not an uncommon video right now. Wow. Oh! A piece of pollen just landed on me from the flower. It jumped over here and landed right on me. I'll see you later. Isn't that amazing? Musical symphony of nature. See, that's why I love doing this stuff. Can I tell you 3 or 4 years ago, before I got into shrooms and microdosing, I could give a flying F about that. I could give a flying F. It didn't mean anything to me. It meant nothing. Now, I want to hook up a sound thing to flowers in my yard. I'll be back later. I'm gonna go become an electrical engineer. Isn't that amazing, you guys? Good morning to you, fellow amazed. Be nature. Can you say be nature? Plant is like, Dave's not here, man. That's right. I wonder how long it lasts. The charge that tells the bee, keep on flying, pal. I'm not ready for you. I wonder how long. I wonder how long it lasts. That'd be interesting, huh? Think about it too from the bee's perspective. The bee doesn't have to do a whole lot. All of a sudden, boop, a pollen just pops on it from the charge. I've always thought they'd have to go around sucking them up like with a little vacuum cleaner or something. I thought they carried a bee vacuum cleaner with them. And they sucked them up. They had a little satchel of pollen that they'd bring back to the hive. No. It's stuck all over them. Boop, attached to them. And then they go over to the hive and they rub it off. They do the old rub. And they drop off all that stuff and it turns into honey. Something like that. Pretty cool. There's even cooler things I've been reading. I read, it's been a while. The bee itself's not supposed to be able to fly. Aerodynamically, there's nothing flyable about a bee. A bee isn't even supposed to, bees take a nap in your flowers. They go in there and they take a nap, pull over the covers. Huh? Bees are cool as hell. If I had just a little piece of property here that I could tend to, something in me now, I would have beehives. I would have beehives, Niffy. Niff, does more than one sleep in a flower at a time? Do they cuddle? Or is it one per flower? Niffy, do you ever see them like cuddling in the flower? I'm not joking. Do they put two together? Do you get a little swarm in the flower? Or is it, Uno, get out of my flower? Kim, have you ever seen a bee? I've never seen cuddling, but I've seen photos of it. I've seen pairs cuddling in a flower. You have? Bees take care of each other. Bees are so cool. We'll learn some more. Let's do a little bee class this week. I'm going to do a bee class this week. I love bees. Wouldn't it be like if we didn't have bees, stuff wouldn't even grow because nothing would get cross-pollinated? Did you hear, where? 1 second. So did you hear about the atom? Did you hear about the atom? They found out something about the atom. You can't even trust the atom anymore. You can't trust you can't trust the atom. They make up everything. Okay. They make up everything. Literally everything. Don't trust them. That's a good one, physicist teacher. Okay, how about that? I never knew what happiness was. Cleanie told me. Did you know that? Cleanie. Nipper, don't pay attention to what I'm going to say right now. Okay? I never knew, but Cleanie wrote to me, I never knew what happiness was, Pops, until I got married. And then it was too late. Cleanie. I never knew true happiness. Do you know, guys? I was one, no joke. In my marriage, I only wore my wedding ring to church. It's true. I was in construction businesses most of the time, so I wouldn't wear my ring. Number one, I didn't want to scratch it because it was like a really nice gold band. And it just, I was always worried that it would like be some kind of industrial accident as a result of my ring. Okay? So I never wore my ring except for like, you know, you're putting a tie on, you grab your ring out of the ring tray and you stick it on. That's not a very good married guy. Okay? The wedding band thing. Kyle hasn't taken one off for almost 20 years. So there was a point of contention for a while with my ex. And then finally, after about year 12, she gave up. I'm wearing the ring when I feel like wearing the ring. And when I'm not wearing the ring, it doesn't mean that I don't love you, okay? This is a true fact, too. Can I be honest with you guys? True. 20-year relationship. I can say this with pure impeccability. 20-year relationship. I never fooled around on my wife, my ex. Not one. There were opportunities. Stuff comes to you. Just in the world, social, places, work. You could if you wanted to. But do you know it takes work? It takes work. It takes more work than just to work on the relationship. You have to hide, you have to cheat, you have to sneak, you have to delete stuff, you have to make stuff up, you have to go on trips that you didn't want to go on. It takes a lot of work. Nobody can say, oh, it was an accidental affair. Bull. It took more work than if you had just gone home and taken out the trash like you were supposed to. If you'd have just brought home a thing of roses, it takes more work to goof off than to stay on the job. You know what I'm talking about? So Pops was faithful. Never looked left, never looked right. And who I thank for that is my father. My father was an exemplar, as big a dick as he was in so many ways. He was an amazing example of how a man should treat a woman. My brother and I both grew up with that example. That was it. That's what we saw. And he treated my mom like she was Queen Cleopatra. And she wasn't. She was a wonderful lady. She was not Cleopatra. But boy, did my dad think so. That was pretty sweet. That's what example we got. Some men say they don't wear their wedding band because it cuts off circulation. Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? I'm out of circulation. Yeah. I'm completely out of circulation. Penny's like, Dad, get your ring on.
This year old and I finally get that joke.
You finally get it?
God damn it.
So I have advice to you, husbands. I have advice. Praise your wife now and then, even if it startles her. What? What did you say? Oh yeah, honey, you look good. What? Go ahead and startle her. Okay? Get her a pony. What's the difference? What's the difference between an outlaw and an in-law? Outlaws are wanted. My IQ test came back. They were negative. Okay. What did the one DNA say to the other DNA? What did the one DNA say to the other DNA? Do these genes make me look fat? Oh, kill me now. Okay, one more. Did you hear about the arrested devil? The devil, they arrested him for possession. All right. Scientists have found a food. They have found a food that greatly reduces your sex drive. Yeah. Greatly reduces the sex drive. Many women feed it to men. It's called a wedding cake. I see a bunch of you knew that one. How is that? How did you guys already know that one? Herbie, what's happened since you had your wedding cake? Huh? Tell the truth. Oh, it's clear. The wedding cake has an effect. It's a scientific fact. Okay. What happens? Hey, what happens to a frog that's illegally parked? You guys say hello to B-Ball Pro. He's new. What happens to a frog who's illegally parked? Why, he gets towed away. Oh, you guys are ahead of me today. How does the man in the moon get his hair cut? Eclipse it. B-Ball Pro, you don't even know what's going on. All right, this is the final one. This is the final one. I'm sure it's going to upset a couple of you, and that's okay. Humor's meant to do that. What do you call a blonde with half a brain? Why, she's gifted. Why do we make fun of blondes? The blondes I know are really smart. Okay? Don't do that to them. All right? Don't do that. Do you know any dogs? Do you know any dogs that are good dancers? All the dogs I know have 2 left feet. Do you ever get, like, with your wife, you're in a situation, and they're just, that's it. Let's just stop this. Let's just bury the hatchet. And she knows exactly where to bury it. Come on, reaction. She knows exactly where to bury it. You're thinking tree stump somewhere. She's like, yeah, let's bury that hatchet. Okay? Final thing. Final one. Freud. What a wreck. A Freudian slip is when you say something, but you mean your mother. And then one more. This is my final one. Back in the day, I'm 30. Mom, I'm born again. She says to me, that's funny, I didn't feel a thing this time. Okay, funny's over. There were 1 or 2 in there that were worth it. The rest of them will rework. Good morning, my friends. Is there a blue? Is there a good day? Blue. Have a donut, blue. Okay. I'm having a really fun morning here this morning. Okay. Welcome to Blue. Blue, we give donuts to people when they're new here. B-Ball Pro, we give donuts to people when they're new here. If you've never showed up before, you get donuts. There's one donut we'll never give away here. And it's an honor to me. They're helping me out. We don't give out powdered sugar donuts. It's a trigger for pops. So we stick with the chocolate if we can, okay? An occasional jelly, but no powdered, no. Okay? Let's get Myco. Let's be Myco about it. We now have a spore syringe. Last week we did a whole Blues a New Zealander, is he? Is that right? Oh, let's look at the mug. Thanks for putting it out. Look at this mug. Killer acid. Look at this mug. I love this mug. It's beautiful. Michael Patterson on here. Shanti, our yogi. My personal yogi sent this to us. That's really neat. Thank you, Michael. I also have a couple of other boxes that have come in the last couple of days. Cleany and Niffy sent me a box that's just gigantic as could be. I guess we've had it here for almost a week, and I didn't even know. Brock had it set to the side. And then yesterday, from the Level Land, what's the name of your operation there, Kim and Mike? What do you call it? Give us a shout out of your operation down there in Texas. What's the name of that operation? Level Land. It's on your label. It's on the label. Lone Star Myco, right? Lone Star Myco down in Level Land. She sent us a box. Kim, I haven't opened it yet. Lone Star Health and Wellness. Is that what you're called, Kim? Lone Star Health and Wellness. That's a neat name. Lone Star Health and Wellness. I like that name a lot. Okay. Sandy has been really struggling with the same thing we have here. Weather. The weather is just literally my car has been ice blocked in. Sandy hasn't been able to reach his post box. Postman hasn't even been taking stuff to the post box. So they think that today it'll break through. If there's LC orders some people are waiting on, it's not been Sandy. He writes to me every day, freaking out. We'll get it to you. We don't want it frozen coming to you either. So hang in there. Your LC is coming. All of your packages are coming. Every package. It's just going to take a little 1 to 2 days extra compared to the norm, just because we really have hit one heck of a storm here. Okay, even last year I didn't miss days because of storms. Okay. Alrighty. Last week we had been talking a lot about spores. Spore this, spore that, spore the other. Actually for 2 weeks. And by the end of last week we ended up with spores. Crazy weather there too, right, Trip? But you're up in the New England area. It's getting really crazy up there. Like, just watch the stadium for the Buffalo Bills games. Whoo! They were paying those people. If you wanted to, you lived in the neighborhood, whatever, you could go to the Buffalo Bills stadium, and they were paying you $20 an hour to shovel snow off of the seats in the stadium. I thought, like, if there were a few of us that hung out in Buffalo, that'd be a fun thing to go do for an afternoon. Get ready for the game. Have a little schnapps, a little schnapperappa, and then go shovel some seats for people. That would have been fun. Yeah, Kyle, my birthday's tomorrow. This whole week's my birth week. I'm not making as big a deal out of it this week as I did last, though. Okay? Oh, boy. Not another one. Jeez. Okay, so last week we're sporing it up real good, right? Well, now we want to take a spore syringe and we're gonna take a petri plate, and we're gonna put the spores out of the syringe onto the petri plate, watch it do some colonizing, and then clean it up. Oh, thank you guys for the happy birthday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love my birthday. My birthday is the favorite day of the year. Mostly because I had PTSD as a child when they forgot my birthday. And I use that as an excuse to be very evil. You can use that as an excuse for a lot of evil. Well, they forgot my birthday when I was 13. I can be a serial killer now. So I came this close to being a serial killer. Okay, I almost was. Thanks, Mom. That's how easy it is to turn your kid into a serial killer. Okay? Your father forgot yours last week? Bill? Yeah, but come on. Pops has got to be in his 70s or 80s there, right? We were in the prime of my life. Come on, right? Yeah, almost made me a serial killer, a 13-year-old serial killer. That's it. I'm going to take out all of my anger and my frustration on the universe. Okay? Michael, I skip narcissism and go straight to serial killer. 100%. Okay? Let's inoculate some plates. Okay? B-ball, if you're 13 right now, you need to hang up. Okay? You need to go. We're not going to let you can't play with us. Okay? Did you ever think working for the post office? Yeah, when I was 13. They forgot my birthday. Uh-oh. Is there somebody seriously, B-ball, are you really 13? We're not talking about anything, but we really do limit our, we like to be 18 and older here. Okay? We like 18 and older. Just because you never know what's going to slip out. B-ball, you're 13. Okay, B-ball, I don't know what to do. What do we do now, you guys? We can't kick people. What do you do? Yeah, B-ball, you got to get out. And not out. Politely depart. You got a lot of chocolate donuts to go. Okay? You got a lot of chocolate donuts to go, but really I am trying to... They make me do it here on YouTube before I start every show. I have to push a button saying, is this audience for 18 or older, or is it okay for kids? But B-ball pro, go be a pro. Thank you, kid, and you're very polite. Thank you. It is age-restricted, Blue. Are you a youngster, too? Boy, this is awkward, isn't it? But yeah, I guess there's rules and we want to follow them. Yeah? We got to follow them. I don't want B-ball's pro's mom to come back. Okay? Thank you, B-ball. I don't want your mom to come back and be mad because we're teaching you how to germinate spores. I know, Penny, those little New Zealand kids are cute. Okay? Blue says I can hang in here. Okay? TV boys saying, get to... TV, it's their summer down there. They're opposite. They're in the summer right now. Yeah, we don't want mom saying, what were you watching today, B-ball? And you go, oh, mom, I know all about spore germination now. She's, what? Okay. Let's inoculate some plates with the spore syringe. Mycology is for everyone. What are the materials that we need in order to take a spore syringe and inoculate a plate? Spore germination's innocent. What we need is one clean petri dish. We need one spore syringe that hasn't been exposed to excessive heat. We need a plate wrapping material, So after we put our plate, we want to tape the plate closed. And we need tool sterilizing materials. We're going to need some kind of a flame, some kind of a sterilizer for our scalpel. If we're going to be using, no, I take that back. We're not at scalpel yet. I take that back. Tool sterilizing material, we just want a flame. Because at this point, we're going to, well, we'll talk about it in the process. All right? It's a 6-step process. I'm going to read the 6 steps to you. Put your mind frame in. You're sitting with your under your still air box or in front of your airflow hood. And you have these 4 things. You've got the clean Petri dish. You've got your syringe. You have material to wrap the plate. And you have a torch. And we like to see butane torch. A Bunsen burner works just fine too, Blue. Okay? As a matter of fact, there's 3 basic sources for sterilizing tools. Okay? There's what they call the Bacti-cinerator. I have a picture of one. I used one for a while, and then I gave it away as a gift because I didn't use it as much as I thought I would. It's a ceramic heated fella. It's like you see them in laboratories all the time, and you turn them on, and inside the core, it's heating up to like some ungodly temperatures, and all you have to do is stick your scalpel into there, or in this case, the tip of your needle into this hole, and it starts glowing red hot. Boop, you pull it out. In the meantime, Jonathan, I'm sure you guys use them at your lab all the time. They don't have open flames there, I'm sure. So they use these ceramic heaters, okay? And you put the tip of your deal into the hole, and it heats up. Now, that's one of the ways that we sterilize our tools. A second way is an alcohol flame. That's the Bunsen burner. We'll take a Bunsen burner, get it burning. It's got a little wick. And it's not a bad thing to just have it sitting there with its little burn going so you can reach over and sterilize anytime you want. Okay? I always get a little worried about Bunsen burners only because you got to be really safe with them. Last thing you want to do is knock one over. They're extremely dangerous if mishandled, because next thing you know, you got a fire going on. So your Bunsen burner, you got to be extraordinary cautious with, but they work phenomenally. And then the last one was a butane torch. The butane torch, we use a micro torch, the small one. Okay, it's a beautiful little torch, and it also has a lock on. So if I want that flame to just keep going during my operation, it can lock on and the flame will stay moving. Okay? So those are the 3 typical ways at home that we're going to sterilize our tools that we're going to use to inoculate plates. So, the first step is to clean your transfer area. Obviously, wipe it down, make sure that with an ISO spray everything's clean, and that you're prepared to work under aseptic conditions. Second, if your Petri dish had been in a refrigerator, I keep my Petri dishes in a refrigerator. I don't leave them out at room temperature. They stay in a little drawer in my refrigerator. When I go to use them, I'll take them out of the refrigerator, and I need them to heat up to room temperature before I use them. At the end of the day, everything we want it to get up to room temperature when we use it. Okay? So if my Petri dish was in cold storage, I'm going to allow it to reach room temperature. I'm going to unwrap my plate and get ready. Then I'm going to take my spores needle, the needle on the end of the syringe, and I'm going to sterilize that tip using one of those heat sources we discussed. I'll either put it over the top of the Bunsen burner, I'll flash it in front of my torch, or I'll put it in the bacteria incinerator. And either way, I'm going to have a glowing red hot tip on that needle. Now I'm going to let the needle just cool down. Just cool down, and you can see it. You'll see, boop, it's not red anymore. It's still hot, but it's not red. Squirt a small amount of the liquid that's in the needle. That's in the, squirt a little out. You've filled up your syringe with sport, squirt a little out. Maybe you'll have a little dish in there. Squirt a little in there. That's going to do two things. It's going to clear any blockages, and it's going to cool the needle down from the inside. Okay? So your first move is squirt a little out. Then you're going to, and it likes to do this, flick the end of your needle with, just flick it, and that gets the water back out of the needle, back down into the syringe. You're going to want to do that, because if you don't do that and you go to put your needle onto the agar plate at this point, a bunch of liquid's still in the needle, and it's going to just pour right out. And you're going to have a little swamp that you didn't expect. So you're going to squirt a little out, and you're going to flick the needle. Okay? Now you have a clean, dry inside, sterilized outside needle. You're going to use the clamshell method now. If you remember what our clamshell method was, you've got your plate, your Petri plate here. You have your top on it here. You're just going to clamshell. You're not going to lift it off and go have a Frisbee game with the lid. You're not going to take it off and lay it down somewhere. You're just going to lift it, boop, like that. Clamshell, just where there's enough room where you can access it with your needle. We're doing that to add extra layers of protection. Okay? We're going to use the clamshell method, open the plate, insert the needle tip without touching the agar. Deposit 1 to 3 drops of spore water on the surface of the agar. What we do here is we'll do a little triangle of them, 3 or 4 spots around on the plate, not all in one spot. Boop, 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 on the plate. Remove the needle without touching anything and close the lid. Now you'll probably want to put the needle lid back on and set the spore syringe to the side, because you're going to be able to get a lot more plates out of it than just those few drops. Okay? Now what you're going to do is you're going to swirl that plate. You're going to take the plate lightly. I'm not talking about discus throw. You're just going to take that, and you're just going to barely shake the plate. What you're doing is you're getting the spores in there to dance around a little bit. And they're sort of seeding themselves into the agar. So you're going to give it a tiny little swirl. Okay? Then what we do is we'll set it to the side and not touch it again for at least 3 or 4 hours. We leave it in the under the still air box or under this flow hood. Leave it there for 3 or 4 hours. Then I'll come back and I'll tape the plate closed. Why do I let it sit? If I mishandle plates, and with that liquid, if I'm going to tape it, it hasn't really set yet. So when I first put liquid on an agar, I want it to sit a little before I start handling the plate, so it doesn't start moving around more than I want it to. In several days, visible areas of mycelium should appear on the plate, As spores begin to germinate and mate, distinct sectors will appear. They'll each be a different strain. We don't know exactly what strain we're going to get out of that conjoining of the spores. It's a rando joining of spores in our spore syringe and then onto the plate. So we're not really sure. We know what we're told. We know I'm getting these spores. It's a rando generation of them. So you don't know what the genetics are going to end up being. You don't know what the mutations are going to end up being. You don't know anything other than you think you know the strain. Okay? Some of these mycelial networks will have different appearances from the others, while others, similar looking, will butt up against each other. You'll get these colonies on the plate that butt up against each other, but they won't grow into each other. You have two separate families. We're over here, we grew, we bumped into each other, we've used up all of the agar between us, but you'll find out they won't join each other. Now you're going to have two different samples to be able to take off of that plate and transfer to another plate. Excuse me. Some of these, they will butt up against each other and they'll form boundary ridges, which are signs of incompatibility. We will continue on this tomorrow. We're going to tell you what do we do next. We've inoculated a plate. We've potted 3 or 4 different colony spots on a plate from the spores. We're watching it start to colonize and develop. What do we do next? What do we do with that plate? What's our next thing? And by the way, all the rules that I just told you about using a spore syringe are the exact same rules for using a liquid culture syringe. It's the same thing. Instead of squirting spore and spore water onto our agar, we're squirting liquid culture onto our plate. We'll cover that again, and where it's a totally different step up, but the process for inoculating the plate is the same. Okay? Fascinating stuff. We'll pick up tomorrow on this, but you're going to see things like on one plate, you could have different cultures. That's how a plate can look. And this is where they call it going in and cleaning up the plate. We'll be talking about that some more tomorrow. Ghastly, how long is a plate good? I don't know. Shelf life questions are hard for me to answer because we don't typically run tests to see how long things last. Usually, whatever we have, we use it pretty quick. My planning is such that I know I'm going to need 100 plates. I order my plates, boom. I use them up within 2 to 3 weeks. So I don't know the answer. I would say that you can probably leave them in the refrigerator if they're well sealed, especially vacuum sealed. You could probably leave them in there for a good period of time. I'd put it in the months, but again, I don't really know. Tough questions, shelf life questions, great questions, and I'm terrible with them. What we're good at here, and it's one of my strengths, is I'm a planner, production and engineering planning. And so, like, I know where I want to be at on April 1st. So I have all these steps that I have to take to get to April 1st. So I'm already doing my ordering. I'm already doing all the background support work that it takes to get my goal done on April 1st. So I don't hold on to a lot of stuff for long. Okay, let's get to the four agreements. We have about 10 minutes more of hanging out here together. We're going to be impeccable for the rest of these 10 minutes. We're going to be impeccable all day. Did you guys practice being impeccable since last Friday? I did. I was almost impeccably impeccable about it. I'm looking back, I know I didn't tell a lie. I know I didn't say anything to anybody that hurt their feelings. No way. I didn't. There weren't the power of my word. I can't think of having used it in a negative way at all in the last 3 days. Nope. I did a good job on that. Didn't, that's a good one. As a matter of fact, yesterday I was able to be super supportive with the power of our word and a hug. A super duper, incredibly close friend came by, spent some time yesterday evening, only to find out their mother is diagnosed with metastasized cancer throughout her whole body. She didn't even know it. She's feeling some pain. Went to the hospital about 2 weeks ago. X-rayed, MRI, the whole thing. Sorry, man, you're full. You're a walking cancer cell. Almost like go home, you're on hospice. That was yesterday evening. You have to be present when that kind of stuff comes at you. You have to be present. You have to just listen. There isn't one thing we can do about it, Whiskey. I'll take a trip up and see her. There's not a thing we can do about it but listen. And that's impeccable. I know it's tough. It's weird. I've met this woman about 5 times in my life, and this extraordinarily sweet human. Pain is the human condition. Pain's the thing we can't escape. You know what? Pain's something I don't even try to escape anymore. I'll walk through it. I have to drive up to it. Do you know back in the past, that isn't something I would have done. I'm not going to go face that. Power of our word. My friend left here yesterday feeling better. My friend left here yesterday feeling better. It doesn't stop there. Oh, I did it once. This will be something we have to deal with until it's done. Practice. I'm getting a great chance to practice. Our word is our agreement. Our word is our agreement with ourselves first. That's where the impeccability comes in. When we hear an opinion and we believe it, we make an agreement. It becomes part of our belief system. I'm on page 37. I'm going to go to page 37 on the 4 agreements. Looking at everyday human interactions, imagine how many times we cast spells on each other. Yesterday, with that human interaction, I cast a spell on my friend of healing, of kindness. I'm not telling you that it's the person's healed and they'll never deal with. No, it's a daily process in some cases, especially when you're dealing with a family member that has cancer. But it's our words that we say to each other. I cast a spell on my friend before my friend left yesterday. How do I know? Oh, because of the text I got this morning that told me what you said made a difference. I didn't say it to make a difference, but I knew it would, because my words are spells. I know that. I know yours are too. Over time, as we cast spells on each other with our words, there's one incredibly awful thing that happens. We find out how powerful we are. Sometimes we don't realize we have power at all. There's a complete misuse of the word. The general category for that is called gossip. Gossip's a negative magic, and at its very worst, it's pure poison. That's why I don't allow it here. I won't have anything to do with somebody that gossips. I won't allow it here. If you start talking about somebody, you get blocked. Goodbye. We don't need negative magic. You are not here to talk about each other in negative ways behind each other's back. If you're ever going to say something about somebody, it's going to be something incredibly positive, or you're not saying it here in our forum. Years ago, I found out how terrible gossip was. 2.5 years ago, it'll be 3 this coming July, I was the target of the worst in my life, the worst gossip attack you could ever experience. Completely unfounded, complete, made up. And you know what was funny? You know what they do in gossip? Oh, you heard about how when Pop sexually harassed that one girl in his lab? Within a week, it was 6 women. Not one ever came forward, not one ever. The number got up to 6 within a week. And there were 6 people. There were thousands of people out there talking about that didn't know me. Never met me in their life. Didn't know a thing about me. But one didn't sound like enough. 2 seconds. Anybody can get 2? Come on, let's get them up to a villainous level 6. We got through it. But it's murderous. You know, they could have murdered Pops. You know, Pops was one atom away from quitting. I don't need you guys to be talking shit about me when I'm out here trying to do the best I can for you. So I'm going to quit. Imagine if I'd have quit 2.5 years ago. There's about, how many of you here wouldn't know me today? How many of you here wouldn't have received something? Gossip. Untenable gossip. And it's still out there. That was just my only personal first experience with it. And I get incensed, obviously, you can see. It is so murderous. Who would it have murdered at the end of the day? Had I fallen all the way victim to this gossip, not just felt the pain of it, but gave up? Well, of course, I would have been a victim, but there would have been 19,000 more victims. 19,000 more victims. Plus, how many coming? That's how many people we can murder with one gossip. If you're out there gossiping, you're murdering people and you don't even know it, besides murdering yourself. We learned how to gossip by agreement. I can't even blame the gossipers. I don't. My parents taught me how to gossip. My teachers taught me how to gossip. My priest taught me how to gossip. Everything growing up, everything in all of our cultures has taught us how to gossip. Do you know when a billboard is looking at me with some strapping Marlboro man? That's gossip in its own advertising deadly form. You're not going to look like that when you smoke a cigarette. That's not how you're going to look. That's gossip. That's an agreement we all made. Oh, if we smoke a cigarette, we'll look cool. No, actually, when you smoke a cigarette, you're going to die. When we were children, we heard the adults around us gossiping all the time, openly giving their opinions about other people. My dad was really into politics. He'd sit there and talk to the TV at President Nixon, at Lyndon B. Johnson, at all of the political characters, and he had his opinion. And so I'd go to school. I don't know Jack from Jill. I'm a fourth grader in elementary school, and I'm telling my friends you should vote for Richard Nixon. I was taught that. Oh, you can't like that guy. He's just, I don't know. I just heard my dad say it. My dad's right. So I got to repeat it. I repeat it enough, I believe it. Our parents, our teachers, our all of us, we have opinions about people we don't even know. Oh, she's a good one. Oh, Taylor Swift, she's cool. I don't know her. Either I like her music or I don't. I can't tell you a thing about the human. We have so many opinions about other people. We don't know anything about them. I don't know what they had for breakfast, let alone how they think, let alone the PTSDs that they experienced growing up. I don't know anything. And for me to have one level of presumption is a lack of impeccability. Emotional poison is transferred with these opinions. What do you think's transferred with these opinions? Positivity? Kindness? Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Sandy. That's so kind of you. Pops has never lied, misled, or stirred anyone here wrong. I haven't. And everything he portrays here is 100%. You'll find out if you meet me. This is so important to me. It's the new me. It's the me I've always wanted to be. I'm not going to let myself down. I'm not. I did it for 60 years. I'm not doing it anymore. I have new agreements. My new agreements is I don't have an opinion about you until I meet you. I don't. And then when I meet you, here's my new agreement with myself. If I don't like you, Pop's not liking someone. Yeah, it happens. Not often, but if I don't like you, you know what I do? Do you think I start a big fight with you? Do you think it's even important for me to tell you I don't like you? What? My method, if I don't like you, and I don't have to like everybody. I found that out too. You know what I do if I don't like someone? I just avoid them. I'm polite, but I avoid. There's no reason for interaction that's going to not be positive. I just avoid. That's the healthiest me I can be. Just avoid. Somebody, when it comes to me, flying at me on my emails. Pops, first thing you open up an email, there it is. You know what I used to do? Fire back. Defend myself. What do you mean? I don't know. 2 years ago, you know what I start doing? I don't reply. Imagine the guy that sent you the stinging email. He just wants to, come on. Don't reply. Even if they're wrong. You have to spend a whole lot of time defending myself to somebody that's wrong. Spare me. Yeah, Love Slinger, we'll work that out. All I need is a little bit of advanced notice when people are coming to town. I just ignore them. I leave them alone. You know how fast people go away that get ignored? Really fast. Because they're wanting attention. They want attention. And that's normal too. We talked about that at the beginning of the book. It's very normal to want attention. It's what are we doing to get it? Gossiping has become the main. We'll talk about this tomorrow. We're out of time. A little more about gossiping because I need to hit that hard because it's the opposite of who we want to be. So we're going to describe it. We're going to make it sound as creepy as possible because it is. We won't spend a lot of time talking about it, but let's continue. We'll finish up on gossiping and then compare it to what impeccability looks like. Sound good? Let me get a couple of names for the big spin wheel this week. I need to get a couple of names. Okay? Here we go. I'm going to do numbers 1 through 50. Go. Numbers 1 through 50. Yes, Aaron, we're going to be having a Mush Fest in Marine City. And as of yesterday, we have let me just do the numbers first. Okay, kill the game. The Waz, 45. The Waz, 45. Wazzy, you're on the board for tomorrow. For Friday. I'm going to put you on the spin to win wheel for Friday, Wazzy. Good job. Listen, I'm going to do another one right now. You ready? We're going to do another one. Here we go. I I'm going to actually write it down. First person to say it will get on the board for Friday. Okay? A car part. Name a car part. Name a car part. Sandman. Sandman. You are on the board for Friday. Alternator is correct. Sandy, you're the fastest alternator in town. And you're on the board for Friday. You're spinning to win on Friday. Good job. Good job. Okay? Alternator. I've been missing alternator for a while now. And no, we didn't plan that. No. Not alternator. Okay. Yeah, it's a lag test, Kim. Woz says, I think he Googled it, Pops. Yeah, you disqualify him. I think he Googled it. That is funny, man. That's a lag test or he Googled it. One or the other. Okay. Let's do one more. This one's not going to be alternator. That's funny. Do another car part, but it's not alternator. Go. Another car part. Anything. I mean, every car in the world has one of these on it. Go. Car part. And it's not alternator. Don't waste your time. Okay? Every car has one of these, or they better. They're supposed to. Let me put it to you that way. They're supposed to. All right, I'm seeing you guys are making good answers here. I haven't seen the answer yet, though. Okay, what is the answer? You got to have this on your car. Okay, you got to. All right, it's got to be there. Let me put it to you this way. If you don't have it, you can't drive it on the road. How's that? How's that for a hint? If you don't have it, you can't drive it on the road. How's that? A tailpipe. I can't believe nobody's got it yet. All right, come on now. What else? What could it possibly need? Trippin' Vic, plates. It's got to have plates. Of course, license plates. Trippin' Vic. Let's see if we can get you a pony on Friday. Trip, you're on the wheel for Friday. Okay, you got to have a license on that car. Okay, see you guys tomorrow. You galoots. Who had a good day today? We learned about inoculating plates, and then we learned about being impeccable and what. Let's watch what we gossip about. So we laughed a lot to start the morning off too. Okay, we found out that atoms, you can't trust them. They make up everything. Go have a good day, you guys. I love you, and thank you for being here for me. I have a feeling we're going to have a wonderful week. Herbie and Brian and File 13 and Jesus Christ and Whiskey. We've been talking about plates all morning. Why wouldn't we talk about a car plate? Trippin' Vic and Aaron, have a nice day. I'm glad you were here. Kyle and Kimberly and B. Hendricks and Sandy and Penny Pack and Evan McHugh and Cleany and Disc, thank you, and Wazzy and Slingy and Kyle and Grady and SSW and Kim, Nerdy Michael Allen Waz, Whiskey, love that guy, Mike, Trippin' Vic and Lovey, Love Slinging, Cat Meow, Clean, Free, yeah, we don't have the details. We got together, we met about it yesterday on the Mush Fest. We should have details by the end of the week. So we're looking for the house on the river right now. Okay? And Slingy, Jimmy Max, Gasly and EMT and Melissa. Melissa. I knew Melissa would be here. Anthony Big Man Thornton, Herbie Juan Canerby, and Crystal. Hi, Crystal. Slingy and Kyle and Billy D. Drink water. Drink it all day. You're great. Blue, thanks for being here. R&R and Silly Gal and Deborah. What a pearl. Sandy, love you, man. Fast Finger. Tuesday, Brian and Pilar and Kim Kim and Gasly and Grady, Anthony, Herbie, Kyle, Mike, File, Justin, Jesus Christ. Way in Australia. Red Boy, Evan, Benny Ben, hi Ben. Charlie, Jesus Christ, D. Anderson, Nerdy, Whiskey, have a great day. Kyle, Cobalt, Michael Brown, love ya. MDK with the all kinds of fun. Love Slinger, drink water, care more. No, catch more fish. Kylie, caw. Jesus Christ was. Melissa, Laura, have a divine day. Mike and Pilar and Gasly and EMT and Tiffany. I knew Tiffany was out there. MDK and File 13 at 5280, half the day. Melissa, Blue, EMT, Silly Mike, Herbie. Am I ever going to run out? Magma, Whiskey, Kyle, B, Brian, Gleany, Jonathan, Drinky, Jesus Christ, Magma Power, Kyle. Thank you. File 13, Pilar, R&R, Pops, peace. Caw. Get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow.